Sweetie, you won't believe this. Funny name. And some funny moments there, although a critic I found gave it 1 star. And indeed, it's not really the best comedy or action movie you've seen. But it's because of the movie. I'm sorry, it's so boring. I couldn't help it. Maybe it's the summary of the. It's yawning. It makes you yawn. Well, to some extent, this was a medical thing. I guess. And I yawned because I couldn't somehow, because I'm coming from out of town from the gym, not just any gym or a team. That's the advertising for this fucked up place. No saunas, no jacuzzi, no nothing, no battery for the scale, no no money for anything. When manager is told about various details, I mean, come on, you have to change the battery in the scale. That's $2, maybe $1.50. I mean, and what do you want? You want me to pay it from my pocket? In other words, it's the buses. One thing is the hotel, and it's also, what a shame, the Radisson Hotel. I mean, they have a chain in Miami, but here, oh my God, I mean, they're really awful. Why? Because there's so many bad things at this spa, and they have their clients using the spa, and you're so lousy that you don't go once in a while, once a month, and see, what, do you still have saunas? Is there still a roof here? And other things. A few years ago, I was appalled with this Scandinavian and international awareness, but allegedly they're from Scandinavia. They had big lights on the hotel in the middle of the day. In summer, I mean, you had light so much that it was, as I've seen on BBC, or there's this problem with light pollution. There's too much light in places where, so in the middle of the day. And it took a few months. I mean, I asked the manager from this place, maybe you talked to this or that. And at one point, they changed the gardening services or something. And they left there were trees, there were Acer, Japanese Acer, valuable, expensive trees, and all plants, which would, I mean, there was decoration for psychological, for aesthetic reasons. And they just, because they, as I said, they didn't have a garden, they switched, and they didn't think, they didn't care, clearly. They didn't look to see the lights. To put somebody from, they had some, for instance, this guy was something like a guard or security. And I said, look, I know it's not your thing, but you don't have to take a lot of trouble. Just take, if it's a hose, you let it have a few drops, and you put it near a tree, and then you change it a bit later, so it doesn't. With the idea that they would save those trees, those plants, which were dying because nobody would put any water. So I was coming out. What was I? You won't believe it. Sweet. Well, not much to say other than this tangent, this subject which has nothing to do. And there are some funny moments. I'm thinking, for instance, when you have a very dangerous fellow who's missing. In fact, he's not missing an eye. He has an eye which is white because of something I missed it. Maybe it's what it is. and he is John Wick, or killing, chopping. And there is somebody in the room. Well, there are a few, and some escape, some do not. But there's one who's just trying. He's in the room, but he's trying to hide in various places, and you think, well, okay, now he will get, because he's looking. They're separated by this thin wall, and the dangerous one-eyed man and his potential victim, that's separated by this wall. And one way he's looking, and you think, okay, so he's seen it. This is a rundown house or place, or I don't know what it is. It's not a barn. Okay, so there must be cracks in his. No, he was looking in a mirror or something. Then they're moving. Killer, and this other guy again, the victim, would be victim. It's just behind him. So, like, where do we see this in Tom and Jerry? Do I hear something? And besides, the interesting thing would be that this is from Kazakhstan. It's the only film I think I've seen from Kazakhstan. So, that's a first.